It Takes Two, Amy Eiler, JJ Gordon. I actually pulled Abby Miller in on this one for a conversation about gambling. Not because you know the most about gambling, but
I know little.
This is something I learned on KFGO.com just this morning, so I like to go through the articles and see what I'm missing, right? I'm not only a talk show host, but I also am someone who consumes the news.
Right.
There was a big story, and of course it makes total sense, about NFL has a policy about players not gambling, okay?
All the time.
All the time. And like specifically, of course, with sports betting, but there's a complete blackout on any games of chance, which is ironic because the Super Bowl is in Las Vegas this year.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about...
I bet there's no gambling going on for that.
Right? So, I mean, the rule that they have is simple. If you play for the Chiefs or the 49ers, you're not allowed to gamble while you're in Vegas. You can't play casino games. You can't bet on sports. None of it.
Okay.
Like if someone says, listen, they're betting on whether or not this chicken wing is going to make someone sweat. Nope, you can't. And if you are caught gambling, there is swift mediation that's done that could include you being pulled from a game.
Ooh.
So imagine putting $5 down on a blackjack table, which probably doesn't exist anymore. I think the lowest you probably get is $10. But you put that money down, and then someone's like, hey, aren't you Travis Kelce? And then they're like, uh-oh, you're not playing the game anymore. So it's a pretty big deal. And, of course, there was a story about how the teams actually stay in separate hotels, but they stay in hotels that are far removed from the Las Vegas Strip.
Just keep them away.
Just
or
keep
even
them away.
What if they're all of a sudden like, hey, do you think that when JJ Gordon eats this chicken wing that he's going to sweat? And he's like, yeah, I bet you $5. Ha!
Yeah.
Football player.
They're obviously taking it red-handed. Very, very seriously.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about how
Chicken
the
wings.
NFL players are not allowed to be gambling at all, and the Super Bowl just happens to be in Sin City this year. And if you were paying attention at the end of the year...
NFL players can't gamble?
Apparently not.
At all.
Ever.
Nothing.
Not even out of the season?
Out of the season,
they can't hold on.
Do sports betting.
They can't gamble on sports, or they can't gamble, period.
They can't gamble, period,
Not
while they
even,
are in Sin City.
They
no
can't even
games
bet
of
that
chance.
JJ would sweat while eating a chicken wing.
Could they play blackjack?
No. No
That's
casino
Could
games.
they play a penny slot?
No.
Those are all considered gambling.
Yeah.
I'm just...
They can't use maybe they could use real money and play Monopoly.
They're making so much money. You know that they are gambling.
For sure.
And
they are gambling. There is some underground.
They just can't get caught.
Right. There's some underground ring where all the
Where all
NFL
of the
players are
sports.
gambling
now, here's
together.
The thing. The normal NFL policy is players can gamble in casinos and bet on sports except for the NFL. So you can't bet on NFL games.
But
if
you
play
can bet
in
on
the NFL.
other things.
But you can bet on other things. Except for the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl policy, since it is in Las Vegas, players participating in the game and involved with the organization are not allowed to gamble on anything at all
even if
while
you
in Las Vegas.
You're a Vikings player. You can't even.
No, it was for the teams in the game.
The teams in the game.
But anyone associated with.
Correct. So, if you are in the Chiefs' head office, you're also not allowed to gamble.
But
if
not
your
not
girlfriend, can Taylor Swift gamble?
Taylor Swift can gamble all she wants.
Oh, okay.
You could be associated with the NFL, but not.
She's a wag.
Mm-hmm.
She's a wag.
What?
She's an NFL wag.
If you're caught betting on the NFL and you're an NFL player, you can get a 1-year suspension from the NFL. So not just from your team.
Do we have any proof of this happening? Do we know of anyone?
I don't know of anybody. And of course, this is
but
the
hold
big
on.
story because it's in Las Vegas.
You guys sort of lied to me.
Okay.
Because people who are not in the game that are associated with the NFL can gamble, just not on the game.
They can't. No, but okay. If let's say you are with the Vikings, right?
Yes,
you're with the
I am.
Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Amy plays for them?
Right,
Yes.
Amy plays for them.
Linebacker.
You are not allowed to gamble on any NFL games, but you could go to play blackjack.
Right. I could play the kitty penny slots.
You could. But with the exception, NFL is being super strict over Super Bowl weekend saying, listen, this is in a town that is known for gambling. This is an issue. We want to keep it away
What
from
about
that.
buying other things?
Like a Coach purse?
Sure.
Sure, yeah. You
can
can buy
buy
that.
stuff.
Okay.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's
or
what
what
I
are you
meant.
talking about? Like scratchers?
Buying stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Oh,
Can
illegals.
they buy things?
that is
illegals.
100%
right?
legal.
In the
So I think
state.
that they would be allowed to make
Okay,
those purchases.
purchases.
They would have a cash transaction.
Do you know what I mean? No, not a purse, Abby.
Coach
Keep
purse.
up.
Yeah.
Keep up, Abby.
Uh-huh.
Just JJ at
Sure,
the
you
beginning.
can call it a purse if you want.
Uh-huh.
Purse, wink, wink.
Yes.
If you're,
I would
if
like
you're
this
traveling
green pair
out,
of shoes.
I think you specifically have to go to whatever the county is, and you can
Oh.
go and visit a ranch, so to speak. That's what we're talking about here. Wink, wink, nudge,
We're
nudge.
buying
right?
horses.
Uh-huh.
We are buying horses illegally.
I think they're technically referred to as chickens.
What?
Yeah, you go to the chicken ranch. I can't be the only person who speaks this language, right? Because I feel like a super creep right now.
You are.
Or and bunnies, like,
so
right?
I think
Okay.
I feel like I was on the same page for a little bit, and now JJ flipped to a different book.
No,
I am
I don't
talking-
think he did.
I am talking about the oldest profession in the world.
Right. Yes.
Cage fighting.
No, Abby.
What is it?
Okay.
Ladies of the night. Soiled
Ladies
doves.
of the night. Okay, don't use that term.
Soiled doves. That's
yes,
my favorite
that is
one.
bad.
You know what we're
Do
talking
you
about now?
understand?
No.
Prostitution.
Oh, ladies of
God.
soiled doves.
Yeah, it's an Old West term.
Clearly I've never heard of that one.
Oh,
This
boy.
is so fun. Let's teach Abby more things
Oh
than
my
it
gosh.
takes to.
I feel like I'm blushing big
sweating.
time.
Is
right
that what we
now.
were talking about when
Yes.
you started the conversation?
Yes.
About purses?
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were talking about weed.
Oh, which also, by the way,
That's-
is legal.
It's legal in Vegas, but maybe not in their home state.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, no.
That's what I thought we were on for a sec.
Wow. Have you been to Vegas?
I have been there.
Okay.
I
Do you know what it's
didn't-
known for?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the topics we just covered.
Yeah.
All
yes.
of the above.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, they call it Sin City for a reason, right? You go there.
Absolutely right.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, which I think is the worst slogan in the 21st century.
Who do you think
Because
came up with it?
nobody, like,
Keeps
what happens
anything
in
there.
Vegas stays in Vegas?
yeah, people talk about it all the time
That
and
is
they
the
take photos.
best
and,
slogan they've ever come up with.
But
Do you
it's
know
not
any
true
other,
anymore.
But do you know any other city slogans? I mean, that one really hangs
Fargo,
with
City
you.
of Parks.
Yeah, it is. It is the city of
Okay,
parks.
We got Fargo's. We live
Uh-huh.
here. Do you know other big cities?
The city of brotherly,
Brotherly Love,
love.
Philadelphia.
There you go.
Yeah, they're so
The Big Apple.
The
city that
Windy
never
City.
sleeps.
Windy City.
We're doing pretty good.
Actually, we're
I'm
doing
actually
really
surprised
good.
at how many city
Okay.
slogans we know.
Wow. What's Bismarck's?
The river. Is something with the bridge, maybe?
What does Mandan have that Bismarck doesn't? A beautiful city across the river. It's my favorite. Okay,
But someone asked the players' wives, can they
that's
gamble?
what I'm saying.
I assume that they are because they are not employed in any way
Right.
through the NFL.
The Wags are gambling. Now we're gonna get Wag get ready with me to gamble videos.
I'm going to use my husband's money. Let's go.
I
What-
love that.
What if I said I don't know what you mean by when you say wag?
Wives and girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
That's what the
Gotcha.
NFL calls
Gotcha.
wives and girlfriends. They call them Wags.
Okay.
And so all the Wags do like videos of them getting ready to do like Wags dinners and Wags.
I can't imagine the lifestyle.
It's a whole thing.
Yep.
Like a Wag lifestyle is a whole thing.
Really?
Wives and girlfriends, yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
I've
someone else
seen
thought
stuff.
you guys were talking about weed.
Oh, there you go. I thought we started out talking about weed.
Thank you so much.
And look,
Yes.
look at us trying to be
Okay,
all
what
classy by using other terminology. And then
we've
sometimes
we've
it's like,
taught
we're talking about marijuana.
we've
we're talking about prostitution.
We've taught Abby about
and
prostitution.
we're not talking about buying
and-
horses illegally.
and we've talked
Because I thought
we've,
that.
we've taught Abby about prostitution and wives and girlfriends.
Okay, so
you can get in on
question.
that.
Thank you so much for bringing me in
Yeah.
this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
glad
welcome.
JJ felt that important. So when you were talking, let's circle back. When you were talking about going to the ranch,
Uh-huh.
to the,
Yes.
the chickens,
Yes.
The chicken ranch,
Yeah.
the bunny ranch is the
Yeah.
name
that's
of
prostitution.
It's the name of the
Well,
brothels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And like it's a whole
Rusty
thing.
Halverson just walked in and aggressively wants to leave.
And again,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no.
seem like
So
a real
we were
creep.
talking about
What's
ranches.
going on? Rusty, would you like us to teach you about what happens in Vegas?
Well, Vegas. Yeah, when you were talking about the farm and ranch, I thought I knew a little bit more, but I guess not. Never been, shall we say? Never been.
Do you have a clip that I'm so now that we're in here together?
No,
okay,
no,
just
we can
making
save
sure.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
we can save it.
Someone literally just wrote, "Can I get a written transcript of this conversation?"
No.
Absolutely not.
We'll have to.
100% no.
But I do have a blog coming up. Different terminology that Abby Miller should know.
I could try
This
to
could be fun.
transcribe it.
Actually,
Okay.
Google does that for you now. You can upload an audio clip to them, and they'll
Wow.
auto trans. And in fact, it's a
That-
big deal in today's world because
It is a
audio
deal.
transcription used to cost a lot of money, and so
I know.
for
I used to
those-
benefit from that.
for those who are hearing impaired, it was hard to be able to get access to this. Now it's very common.
That was a really fun side hustle for a little while.
The
Is
ranching?
no.
Transcribing. Transcription.
You're the worst.
Amy's always walked on the right side of the tracks, Abby.
You didn't work at the transcription ranch?
I was looking for the ranch.
I
so
hate
actually,
all of you.
Actually, at this one we only transcribe. You need to go down the road, take a right. That's the one you're looking for.
So
you
that used
talk
to
and I'll
be a
type.
very profitable side hustle. Was transcription.
Did you do medical transcription? Or?
No, it wasn't.
Oof,
It
that'd be
was
tough.
it was like undercover transcription. Like people
Really?
would go into undercover situations, and then you would,
You did this?
yeah, and it was they paid at the time what felt like a lot of money to do it.
Sure.
So to JJ's point,
Yeah.
now I bet someone just has to edit the Google transcript.
Probably.
Like they probably have to listen and read it to make sure
Fix
that
the
Google got
typos, yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, but I bet you could still do that.
I had friends who did
Right.
medical transcription, and then there was like a 1-800 number you could call if you were hard of hearing that essentially had a web app. And so you were the mediary in the conversation.
Mm.
So they would type something and you would say, like, are you going to meet me later at the mall? Go. And indicating that the sentence has ended. And then they would say back, yeah, I'll meet you at 5:30. Then you would type out, they will meet you at 5:30. Go. And then so it was it was a really neat program. And I had a bunch of friends who worked there, but it changed the way that they talked. Because they would be so matter of fact and
Go.
things, be like, hey, you want to come over for my birthday party? I will not be going to your birthday party. Inefficient data. Go. And be like, what? And they
Or like,
wrote
could you
long
stop
cards
like
out.
slurring your words or abbreviating them because it's tougher for me to understand and
Right, yeah.
transcribe?
Be like, just get to the juice of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of juice, Rusty Halverson's in here for a reason. He's,
Right, that was a perfect
how's-
segue.
He's got to
how's-
figure out what the
How's the
thing
juice
is.
market?
Speaking of
these
the
days.
ranch,
Yeah.
All red on Wall Street.